Welcome to With One Accord, presented by the Houston Chamber Choir each Monday and Friday to renew and refresh us through the power of choral music. I'm Robert Simpson, founder and artistic director. Watching Rick Biela work with the choir is magical. I saw him at the Houston Chamber Choir's Hear the Future Saturday Clinic 2 years ago, turning a high school choir's initial reserve into eagerness and its uncertainty into determination, and all the time making it clear to them that he was having a blast. Conductor, clinician, choral pedagogue, and choral arranger, Rick has spent his illustrious career working this magic with singers from middle schoolers to seasoned pros. He's been the headliner at over 400 festivals in 34 states, appearing at Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, and abroad in South Korea, Lithuania, Haiti, and throughout Europe. After 25 years as Director of Choral Studies at the Conservatory of Music at Lawrence University, Rick came to Texas to head up the choral department at Texas Tech, where he spent 8 years, receiving the university's prestigious Professing Excellence Award in 2017. Known for his creative programming, Rick contributed a chapter on this subject to the Oxford Handbook of Choral Pedagogy. In 2014, Rick became artistic director of the San Antonio Chamber Choir, the resident professional company of the Tobin Center for the Performing Arts. Founded in 2005, their musical excellence has gained them national exposure, including an appearance at the National Convention of the American Choral Directors Association. Their most recent CD, Unfrozen, A Baltic Christmas, received Grammy attention in 2018. Hal Leonard will launch the San Antonio Chamber Choir Choral Series in 2021. Here's Rick Biela to tell us about the performance the San Antonio Chamber Choir is about to give under his direction.
It's a pleasure to be with you today to talk about the beautiful setting that Sean Kirshner has done of Stephen Foster's Hard Times Come Again No More. He has this beautiful piano intro that is repeated several times, slightly refined, slightly more subtle or more obvious as it goes forward. But there's several things about the arrangement that catch my eye, not the least of which, as I think you'll hear the singers provide a performance that is most subtle. Towards the beginning, the line, hard times come again no more. When the melody comes to the second sopranos and altos on many days, instead of the original Stephen Foster, you have lingered, it says many days have you lingered around my cabin door. So it almost is speaking to the idea of hard times being addressed in the sentence. On the very lyric and bright verse, while we seek mirth and beauty, he brilliantly has set this to start with just the women in a light and almost off-the-voice color, maintaining its character fully. As we move forward, he does add a solo violin to the line, and one of the most subtle spots is on these very touching words Foster sets, "'Tis a sigh that is wafted across the troubled wave, 'tis a wail that is heard upon the shore." Finally, he lets the voices go after opening "'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary," very wistfully, and then "Many days have you lingered," instead of "you have, around my cabin door, oh, hard times come again no more." "'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary," that opens up into a nice full 7-part texture. Brilliantly set, simple, yet entirely colored with hues of complex hurt and pain and yet hope felt in this most difficult time that we present this. We hope you enjoy Sean Kirshner's setting of Hard Times Come Again No More.
The Houston Chamber Choirs with One Accord is your one-stop shop for choral joy. If you enjoyed this podcast, help us to continue our mission to grow the esteem and appreciation of choral music by sharing, reviewing, and subscribing to our content. As a 501c3 nonprofit, support from listeners like you allows us to continue to create new and exciting programming. For more information about us and how you can support our work, please visit HoustonChamberChoir.org/give.